time to get serious, everybody. It's Tuesday at 4 o'clock, which means it's time for the coldest segment in all of sports television. And I'll be honest with you, it was a rough week for quarterbacks. Zach Wilson benched and demoted. Joe Burrow injured and done for the year. Mac Jones primed for a bounce back week after a well-deserved bye. Rest up, my friend. Alas, it's time for the iciest and most formidable ranking in all sports television. Join me as we head to the peak. This is so stupid. I went to college. My parents struggled to take out loans. What am I doing?
You're the one that created all of this. I just said let's do a quarterback rankings. All right, here we go. Off the mountain at base camp. And remember, the rules are if you have been officially benched or if you are injured and out for the year, you are off the mountain and eventually out of base camp because unfortunately we don't have space. So keep in mind when you look at these, Joe Burrow's obviously one of the best quarterbacks in football, but he's out for the year, so he's off the mountain. Deshaun Watson is out for the year, he's off the mountain. Kenny Pickett is not been benched and he's perfectly healthy, but he is off the mountain if you're watching him play. And then at the bottom, Zach Wilson was asked to leave base camp. Mac Jones, at any day now, could be asked to leave base camp, but Bill Belichick won't tell us. All right, now, level 7. Sam Howell, rolling sevens, but in the wrong way. This was the 4th game this year, Coach. He was either sacked or intercepted at least 7 times. That's not a recipe for success, my guy. Shout out Tommy DeVito. I mean, you might ask, what did Sam Howell do to drop? Well, you lost to Tommy DeVito. And shout out DTR, who got his first start with an actual week of practice. And it's not like he was great, but he handled himself well and made plays down the stretch at the end of the game. It's hard for me to see who else is on the mountain over all this snow. Desmond Ridder back on the mountain. Level 6. Carr moves up without playing because he had been playing well, and with Sam Howell moving down, there was room on a level above. Caleb, Kyler, and Stafford stay where they are. Jordan Love showed something in that game. We talked about Jordan Love maybe potentially fighting to keep his spot with Green Bay. And Justin Fields in a similar situation. Justin Fields, I thought, played really well. The Bears, of course, invented a way to lose that game. But it wasn't on Justin Fields.
Justin Fields' fault.
Say it again?
Well, it's kind of his fault. He fumbled the game away.
Well, the fumble came after they had blown the lead. It was once they were already down 3 after blowing a 12-point lead, 4 minutes left. I moved him up, 100 yards rushing, 160 yards passing. You'll have your time, Kevin Wildes. Level 5. Sadly, Josh Dobbs has to drop just a bit. I actually thought he, even in this game, made a few really wow plays, but also made some mistakes. And we maybe got a little drunk on the Josh Dobbs supply, but we were so happy for him. He has to drop just a bit. Russ moves up.
Fair guy.
I don't know that his coach trusts him or even likes him that much, but he is doing what the coach asks of him, and Purdy, Baker, and Geno stay exactly where they're supposed to be. If you would like haphazard, fickle Brock Purdy commentary, look to literally anyone else in the media. Level 4, Jared Goff has to drop 3 picks. 2 of them looked like he was just laser targeted the middle linebacker for the opposing team, so he has to drop a bit. Josh Allen, the roller coaster goes up and down. This was a week it went up. He played well. And Tua, I didn't think played great, but enough to move up. Justin Herbert, once again, I don't know if you've heard this story for any other AFC West quarterbacks, throws some pretty balls that just keep getting dropped. He stays where he's at. Level 3. Even though I thought he had the highlight of the weekend, the touchdown pass to Tank Dell, the 3 interceptions that almost cost them the game, CJ's got to drop a bit. The Prince moves up with a 4-touchdown performance after Chris Broussard called him a glorified game manager and motivated the team. And Jalen Hurts, I was a little conflicted because he made the great play at the end of the game, but I thought he really struggled early, so I didn't want to drop him. I also didn't think we needed to move him up, so he stayed where he is. Now to level 2. Shout out Dak and Lamar, both moving up. Dak had another solid game and continued an unbelievable performance post the Niners game, where not only is the team winning, he is doing what everyone demanded of him and playing clean football. Lamar also played very well on Thursday. We can almost forget that it was this week, but it was Thursday. And these 2 guys, you could argue, were the two quarterbacks under the most pressure coming into the season. Lamar having signed the huge deal, Dak coming off leading the league in picks, and both have delivered at least MVP-ish performances over the course of the year. And still atop the mountain, even though I think he can play better, Patrick Mahomes, when the entire story of the season is that your teammates are betraying you and doing you wrong, I think everyone acknowledges you're the best quarterback in football. That coach is Mahomes Mountain after
Excellent,
week 12.
as always.
Thank you, Kevin Wildes. I appreciate the support. After week 11, I should say.
It's a little bit better than it normally is.
It's the holiday
I don't love Mahomes still sitting on top of the mountain. I mean, 3 weeks in a row where can't score in the second half. But I understand it. He's always going to be there.
It was vacant once.
I do like the fact that you moved Russ up, but I think you need to move him up a little bit more.
Move him up more?
You do
Top 10?
You need to move him up a little bit more, and here's why. And you say that maybe the head coach doesn't like him, maybe they don't get along, but they're getting along really well over the last month. And let's take a look at what he's done over the last 4 games, which is really significantly impressive. So they start out 1-5. He's been 4-0. His completion percentage is almost 75%, 74%.
Very good.
His TD to interception ratio is now 7-0 in this 4-game win streak, and he's got 112, almost 113 quarterback
Solid.
rating.
Yeah.
So you've got to give him credit where credit's due, and as much as you want
Pretty
to
ball.
hold Russ down,
I moved him up, Coach.
You
I moved him up.
nudged him
I
up.
moved him up.
He's
But I think
playing
you
way
got to give
better
him.
than
You got to give him a lot more
even
respect than
Brew,
what he's gotten.
who, while he doesn't show it off like I do my Never a Doubt tattoo, Brew has a Let Russ Cook tattoo, just not on his forearm. Even Brew would not
He might
argue.
show that- he might show that proudly,
He's a
too.
top 10 quarterback. Like, come on, guys. Come on, listen.
I move him over a little though, because I know
it's not left to right,
You
Brew.
say that.
It is not left to right. It is top to bottom. All right, go ahead, Brew.
All right, I got a few corrections.
You don't get to do
Jalen Hurts and Dak switch positions.
That's a good one.
All right, Dak. Here's the record of the teams the Cowboys have beaten: 21-51. What's the one question we have about Dak Prescott?
Right.
Can he get it done against great teams, playoff or regular season? He hasn't proven that. He's beaten up a bunch of tomato cans. All right, and so meanwhile, Jalen Hurts, his record against the victims of their team, 45-48. He's got more overall touchdowns than Dak. So I would go with Jalen Hurts, move him, switch him and Dak, and then Brock Purdy. Coach, he had a perfect passer rating. Only 2 this year. The first 49er to do it since 1989, and he did it in a way that Montana and Steve
If
Young
you want him to move
did
up,
not.
he's got to be scoreless in the second half.
No,
I guess so. Thank you. Because
okay.
Purdy should move up. I'm only saying one level. I think the Prince is too high.
So you want to move the
could
Prince out of the top 10?
Prince finally had a game with more than 2 touchdowns.
I just want to make. Hold on.
I want to move the Prince.
I'll do the Dak Hurts thing
right
in a moment.
now.
You think Brock Purdy's better than Trevor Lawrence?
This is not about who's better. This is about who's playing better this year.
It's about a lot of things.
And I think Brock Purdy's playing better this year.
But I just
Brock Purdy's playing better this year.
Okay, so it's not about who's better. It's about who's playing better this year. Then what is the Dak versus Jalen argument? Because I can show you the numbers. And if
who you do it against? That's what it is.
So, but
this isn't
Dak.
just,
they played each other, and Dak played a better game than Jalen.
Did he win?
No, It is.
I want to see Dak beat some good teams.
It is a team sport, bro.
That's what I want to see him beat some good. And they were a mess at the end of the game, and Dak was too.
Okay,
you know that. You remember that?
Do you think
at the end of the game, Jalen Hurts not going to be a mess?
Having a better year than Dak?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
I think that's purely based on the team's win.
He's got more. He's produced more touchdowns. That's what it's all about, scoring.
Hold on. Is it all about you change what you say it's all about all the time? But typically when it comes to quarterbacks, it is not simply the best quarterback is the one who has the most passing and rushing touchdowns combined. And you know that. That's why we show passer ratings.
But nowadays where you have more running quarterbacks, that is a big factor.
Of course, no, it's a factor, and I'm not trying
Lamar
to blow out
will
Jalen's
never be
candle.
highly ranked if you don't count his running touchdowns.
I'm not saying you don't count it. I'm saying that can't be the only where are the touchdown numbers? Well, okay. All right, go ahead, Wildes. Now, we've had some spicy commentary. Who are you going to talk about?
Well, a lot of people don't want me to talk about this person. They say he's ratings poison.
Well, okay.
Don't talk about Sam Howell. I say, you know what? I'm back talking about Sam Howell. They're like, well, can you please bake it into a Cowboys take to get the ratings? I said, fine. First of all, Sam Howell down in the corner. Sam Howell leads the league in passing. I feel like you got to move. Passing yards. You got to move up somehow just for being number one in anything. Now, unfortunately for you, Sam Howell, you're also number one in sacks. You know how many times this guy has been sacked?
I'm going to guess 51.
51 times! What? 51?
Brutal.
It sounds like a high school stat for your career. 51 times.
Yeah.
He also leads the league in interceptions, tied with Josh Allen.
Wild.
Well, this is why I'm giving it a Cowboys take. Sam Howell, listen to me, dude. Throw that thing away.
No, he's not going to.
Throw it to the fans. Do anything.
He's not going to.
Whatever you do, I swear to God, I'll never mention. No one mentions you on national television except me. I roll with you, dude. Do not throw the ball to Jerron Bland. My God. If he throws the ball on Thanksgiving and Bland runs back yet another pick six, we can all see it happening. Just throw it out of bounds.
Wildes.
Throw it out of bounds.
By the numbers you gave me,
yeah.
he has been sacked or intercepted 63 times this
One
year.
of those was a desperation at the end of the game.
All right, you know what?
Let's get rid
Call
of that
it
one.
62.
Get that one. Okay,
that is
good. That's
that is an average of 6 drive
what I'm
devastating plays a game.
Throw it out of bounds.
But he hasn't.
Well, he
so
should.
he can't
He's
move up the
learning.
mountain.
He's learning.
What is this a TED talk?
Not all the
Mahomes
sacks are on him, though, Nick.
What I understand
you
they're
gotta
not
get a
all
little
on
bit
him.
of help.
But you know what? I'm gonna give a take here. If you're the most sacked quarterback in the league, some of them are on you.
Yes.
Some of them are on you.
One
And
or
I
two are
watch him
definitely
play.
on. There's a few.
He's holding on to that ball and getting power.
Get rid of it, dude.
Yeah, he's not going to. Micah Parsons gonna have 3 sacks. Bland's gonna have a pick, and you're gonna be out here crying.
I'm not me. Sam Howell's going to be because he'll be done with his national relevancy.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.